Well, it's that same gay time and same gay place. Yes, it's Gay Detroit Radio, and it's Friday, and it's 9 p.m. And we're with www.radio-op.com. Well, another interesting week. I'm actually going to call this week, is it Gay Nazis Against the Christian Victims Week? Mainly because we're hearing all these victims, or Christians, and maybe Christians, claiming that they are victims of these gay Nazis. Shame on you, you gays. I mean, how dare you want equality? Lots to talk about this week. Yes, the federal license to discriminate bill. Yeah, that's Christians once again saying that they should be able to discriminate against gays. Yes, the victims are striking the Nazis once again. A little tricky dicky pricky, yes, prick Santorum. Separation of church and state is a communist idea, not an American one. Once again, the Christian victims. Oh, this is going to be fun, slapping the shit out of these dumb bastards. Okay, and then also on a good note as well, there's a bill to help restore the honor to gays kicked out of kicked out of the military, and it's going to be reintroduced in the U.S. Congress. Yes, they went out to fight for you. They put their lives on the line. We'll talk more about that later. But let's have some music. Yes, going to have a little song from a very good friend. I do like this young man, very talented. I think we're going to have him back on the show next week and see what he's been doing. He's been touring around. Young Xander. And his song is I Know How to Love You. Well, I sincerely hope so. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio. I'm James D., and I'll be right back after this wonderful song.
I know how to love you, girl. I know how to love you, girl. I do. I won't ever leave your side. I won't ever leave your side. It's true. Don't make me wait for you no more. Soon I'll be walking out that door. Soon you'll be lying all alone, and you'll know that I won't be coming home.
I know how to love you, boy. I know how to love you, boy. I do. I've waited my life for you. I've waited my life for you. It's true.
Don't make me wait for you no more. Soon I'll be walking out that door. Soon you'll be lying all alone, and you'll know that I won't be coming home. I know how to love you, boy. I know how to love you, girl. I do. I've waited my life for you. I've waited my life for you. It's true. Don't make me wait for you no more. Soon I'll be walking out that door. Soon you'll be lying all alone, and you'll know that I won't be coming home.
wonderful dulcet tones there of Xander and I Know How to Love You. Well, if you've been doing it for a while, I sincerely hope so. So, let's talk about what's going on in this wonderful world. Yes, apparently now, the Federal License to Discriminate bill, which was brought in by the wonderful Hobby Lobby, is now gaining support and opposition. This measure would allow individuals, businesses, and non-profits to discriminate against same-sex couples without federal penalties. The House version of the First Amendment Defense Act, which actually should have... sorry, I'm just knocking out one of these little pop-ups on the website. The House version of the First Amendment Defense Act, which would protect individuals and institutions from government penalties for acting in accordance with a religious belief or moral conviction against same-sex marriage, is now up to 134 co-sponsors, including 17 who just came in after this week's MSNBC reports, and the Senate version has 34 co-sponsors, which amounts to nearly two-thirds of the Republican members. Republican members, I might add once again. This actually really is a crock. Basically, it's giving you license to discriminate, but you don't have to you just hide it behind religion. And it's say, well, I hate you, and I can say anything I want about you, and I can really tell you to go fuck off and go away and not do anything, and I can get away with it because I'm backed because of the government and because of my religion. So really, you're given religious freedom to hate. I don't see any victimization in the Christians there. I can't see any victimization in the hate. The only victims are the recipients of that hate, and that would be us, the gay Nazis. So that's one to the Christian victims, because obviously they're winning so far because they think of they are now saying they are the victims, but yet they're the hateful ones. Priki Santorum. Now, separation of church and state is a communist idea, not an American one. Ah, dear, 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 dear. What a stupid, ignorant, uneducated little prick. Did he actually forget that before communism was invented, I do believe, because then in this time period, I do believe the Tsars were still ruling Russia with an iron fist, basically. And then in like 1802, I do believe there was a young man. What was his name now? Oh, yes, Jefferson. He told a Danbury church to get the fuck out of politics, because he coined a letter. And so this is where really basically the separation of church and state began. A little before communism, by about like 150, 200 years. So it was then one of our forefathers, Mr. Jefferson, I do believe, once again, you know, I just only know a little bit of history. I'm English, obviously. Wouldn't you thought that an American politician would know more history, American history, than I do? You would think, wouldn't you? Really? I mean, come on. Seriously. Come on, Pricky. Anyway, so now some good news is a bill to help restore honor to gays kicked out of the military, and that's been reintroduced, I should say, into U.S. Congress. Let's see what's going to happen here. An estimated 100,000 service members were discharged for their sexual orientation prior to the 1994 implementation of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which did not outrightly ban gays, lesbians, and bisexuals from serving as long as they hid their sexuality. And this policy officially ended in 2012. This was introduced in 1994, and also there was the DOMA, Defense of Marriage Act, was introduced more or less around the same time, and this was signed into legislature, not by a Republican, by the way, by Mr. Bill Clinton. So, you know, sometimes nice people do nasty things, I think. Or is that right? Anyway, so this is what happened. So now they're going to try and introduce this bill. It will breathe energy into the countless service members, as we hear from, who want the upgrades but cannot acquire them because they were discharged in 1994. If you are wanting to serve your country, and you want to pay and you are willing to pay the ultimate price to serve your country, you should not suffer this degradation. And also, there's a few politicians out there who are wanting to try and sort of cut even more fundings to the vets. Ladies and gentlemen, these people who serve our country have paid the ultimate price, many of them, and never came back home. The ones who have come back home, some with disabilities, some with injuries that are so horrific they are disabled for the rest of their life, and some with mental disabilities that has the horrors of war just completely unhinged their minds. These people should not ever be disregarded or just thrown away like used pieces of trash. If you're willing to spend trillions and trillions of dollars by sending people to war, then you should be actually prepared to spend millions and millions of dollars for their upkeep, because after all, they are the reason why we have our freedom today. Let's have some music. And this is for our gay metal friends. This is by Sunday Hats. And it's called, I do believe, Is There a Doctor in the House? Oh, no. I'm not going to play that one. I'm going to play this one. The Child Is in Me. Yeah, actually, that's about right, really, because I'm never going to grow up. So this is for our metal gay fans, and also for our straight fans, too. See you soon. I'm James D., and you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio.
This time I fly away.
child was in me. They hold the keys to my kingdom. I'll wake up the child in me and live in freedom. The shadows watching me. They hold the key to my kingdom. I wake up the child in me and live in freedom.
Yes, a wonderful sound there of the Sunday Hat and the child in me. Well, now let's see. Talk about the child in me. There's plenty of children apparently in Michigan who are acting, or should I say people who are acting like children. This actually is a Michigan-based, and it's from the United Methodist Church in Cassopolis, and it's in Michigan. And it's about a young reverend called Benjamin Hutchinson. And he says the Methodist leadership gave him the option of resigning Monday, of being fired for being gay and having a partner, despite the fact that his congregation and community was well aware of the fact that Hutchinson was gay from the beginning of his appointment. It was my only place of employment, and in fact, it was the love of my life, Hutchinson said. I've never been shy about it, and I will not hide from it. Monty Hutchinson is my life partner, and he is there who's with me. I consider him my partner, Lord willing, someday to be my husband. The Methodist Church released the following statement. This subject has been passionately debated for a very long time in our denomination. In May 2016, clergy and laity from around the world will meet in Portland, Oregon for general conferences where discussions are expected to take part in the church's official position on these matters. The Church's Book of Discipline says that the Methodist Church is open to anyone but practicing homosexuals and not allowed to be ordained as ministers or appointed to serve in the church. The congregation is both shocked and appalled by the news. You see, now this is when I believe that these churches are completely, I would say at least 1,000 years behind the times. It's just so disgusting. Yeah, they're now putting themselves against the laws. But you see, did you also know as well, and this is what's really annoying me, is that you can get married in Michigan in the morning, and you can get fired in the afternoon for being gay. I wonder if Schneider is going to do anything about that. I mean, he actually granted licenses for the pedal pubs, so obviously alcohol on pedal push pubs in the streets of Michigan is far superior to equal rights, maybe to Mr. Shitty Schneider. But this, about what is this about? Why do they call it practicing homosexuals? I haven't practiced for fucking years. I'm perfect at it by now. What is wrong with you? Practicing homosexuals. Bullshit. I'm very good at it. In fact, this is the reason I'm wearing diamonds, please. Anyway, so, let's move on. So, really, I'm getting fed up with these churches. This is about time now these religious organizations just woke up or get the fuck out of the country and go somewhere else or start paying taxes, which really would make them wake up, because if they started paying taxes, then they'd shut the fuck up. Simple as that. There you have it. Now, here's some news. Civil rights leader Martin Luther King once answered a question from a boy who was struggling to cope with his sexuality. This is going back quite a few years now. So it was like this was writing for the advice column for Ebony magazine in 1958. So we're going back a few years before my time, and I'm not saying any more. But according to a transcript released by the Stanford University, the boy asked, "My problem is different from the ones most people have." And here it goes. I'm a boy, but I feel about boys the way I ought to feel about girls. I don't want my parents to know about me. What can I do? Is there anywhere, any place I can go for help? Dr. King responded, "Your problem is not at all an uncommon one. However, it does require careful attention. This type of feeling that you have towards boys is probably not an innate tendency, but something that has been culturally acquired. Your reasons for adopting this habit have now been consciously suppressed or unconsciously repressed. Therefore, it is necessary to deal with this problem by getting back to some of the experiences and circumstances that led to the habit. In order to do this, I would suggest that you see a good psychiatrist who can assist you in bringing to the forefront of the conscience and all those experiences and circumstances that lead to the habits. You are already on the right road towards a solution, and since you honestly recognize the problem and have had a desire to solve it, though these suggestions of psychiatry may have been extreme by modern standards, his response was moderate by the standards of 1958. Because remember, back in those days, and even way up to the 60s and 70s, homosexuality was regarded as a disease, an illness. You know, it just was not right. So therefore, and also they used to go in for these electric shock treatments, ice water treatments. I mean, you were insane, really. You know, a man touching another man's penis or whatever was just completely insane, uncalled for, and downright immoral. Damn, those were the days, happy days. So, you know, although Martin Luther King really gave the best advice possible, and there was no animosity, no judgment. He just gave to the benefit of his experiences and education of that time. We now know different, coming back now nearly 60 years later. So it's just nice to know that in the 50s that somebody had compassion, and it was Martin Luther King. Unfortunately, he was assassinated for his compassion for civil rights, for everyone, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't just for a certain type of people. It was civil rights for everyone. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen. And all you pastors out there screaming the moral issues of how wrong it is, let's go back to Martin Luther King, the icon of civil rights, ladies and gentlemen, the true icon of civil rights. Now, Walmart once again is in the press. It's actually being sued for previously denying health insurance to a lesbian employee's wife. When Jacqueline Coates' wife developed cancer, and the couple had to find $150,000 to cover the medical bills, it was refused. They've been together now. Coates and Smithson, they'd been together, the lesbian couple that is, for 23 years, and married in 2004 in Massachusetts. And Smithson was not covered by her spouse's plan, and the couple were hit by $150,000 medical expenses and fees. But the use of the gender discrimination laws was used and didn't help. Instead, Walmart discriminated against Jackie and other putative class members on the basis of their sex. With 2.2 million employees, Walmart is the largest private employer in the U.S., and it's changed its health insurance benefits for same-sex spouses on January the 1st, 2014. It scored 90 out of 100 in the Human Rights Campaign and its most recent Corporate Equality Index. On this, just give it up. Really, give it up. I mean, use it as a tax write-off, for God's sake. Help the people. What can I say? And on a lighter note, oh dear. All right. A Christian seminary has distributed condoms and that talk about Christ's second coming. Oh dear. Oh dear. There's just so many nasty. Oh, there are so many ways to go about this. Oh dear. So we're going to talk about multiple orgasms of God. And does he need 2 condoms for his second coming? And oh my, just so many bad things to say about this. But apparently, there was much false teaching and false representation of Christianity, and it really does exist in America today. One of the recent examples is the distribution of free condoms by Chicago Theological Seminary, an affiliate of the United Church of Christ, at last week's 2015 Wild Goose Festival. Oh my God. All right, this is just getting more. Yes. Oh my God, yes. The wild goose. Yes, I've been goosed. Give me a condom. Give me 2. Maybe I'll come again. Oh dear. All right, come on. Oh dear. So, the attendees received condom packages designed with colored images of a rainbow flame and an LGBT variation of the United Church of Christ's logo. And printed above the flames were instructions: Chicago Theological Seminary. Take 2 for the second coming. Two comings and a wild fucking goose. Oh my God, that's so. Oh God, I gotta stop this. Otherwise, I am gonna get so much. Let's have some music. I need my sanity back. Yes, let's have a little bit of music from Spain. The sound of ebony voice and pidiendo. This is James T. And you're listening to Gay Detroit Radio.
Ella me encanta. Tu carita pidiendo más, más, más. Anony Boys con señor Coquis. Pa' todas las Johnny que hablan sin yo. Tú sabes cómo que me pongo yo. Yo quiero hacerte el amor.
Yes, ebony voice there. And pidiendo más. I do like that one. That was sent to me from Spain. We even get Spanish listeners. And also a couple of emails from people from Amsterdam and all over. So we're getting some listeners from all over the world. Yes, we are truly international. So now, let's get back into America, because we certainly have our fair share of idiots here now. Talking now, once again, we're back into the gay Nazis against the Christian victims. And here's a true Christian victim. And this Christian victim is a Texas judge. Now, what is happening is he's ordering the couples, the Texas judge is requiring couples to acknowledge his disapproval of same-sex marriage before he will marry anyone. So this is the quote from, now this quote actually from the same judge, every human being deserves respect, is obviously not living up to his quote, because the quote from Judge James DePiazza is now been a judge in Precinct 2 of the Denton County for 8 years. Now, this Christian victim of a judge, he wants to know let everybody know where he stands. So the nasty Christian victim judge, who has the empowerment to marry somebody, is letting the gay Nazis who love each other, let them know that it's to let them know where I stand. I would want to know that if I was getting married, there are some couples of same sex who don't want to be married by someone who doesn't believe in same-sex marriage. And it seems like Judge Piazza is giving a lot of thought of what he was trying to be fair while balancing his religious beliefs. However, it's hard to understand why people have to sign an acknowledgement of the judge's personal beliefs before receiving a state-approved marriage license. Well, you see, the thing is, what this fucking idiot is forgetting, you now, and I think there's only 2 or 3 states in the whole of America that requires a license for a minister to marry. In every other state, there is no license. So any ordained minister, if they want, can marry you. If they don't, then don't contact them. But this judge, the Christian victim of his religious beliefs, hiding his Christian victimness by being an obnoxious, outrageous, bullshitting, fucking bully, for just really. It's sort of getting to piss me off. So this little shitty attitude from this asshole, excuse me, I really, really am getting so pissed off with these self-righteous little Christian victims. They are so full of hate. You are not Christians, and you are not victims. If you are filled with that much hate, you have no God inside you whatsoever. Simple as that. Moving on. Now, here's one, a little bit of good news. The Boy Scouts are to end the ban on gay leaders. This is just 3 weeks after the equal marriage has been legalized throughout the U.S. Boy Scouts of America, the BSA, is just one step away from lifting its long-standing ban on the openly gay troop leaders after the organization's executive committee voted in favor to the measure yesterday, also to say July the 13th. Okay, so now the move has come now because of the BSA president, Robert Gates, has warned that the failure to adapt into the modern world could spell the end of the 105-year-old organization. Hello. Somebody's waking up. What's happening is they're no longer getting the revenue because nobody's giving them money. Money to fund them. Why don't they get a GoFundMe page like the gay bakers who actually got fined $135,000, and because of now their GoFundMe page, they're over like $330,000 from anonymous sponsors. So if you want to hate, let's go and test fate and get some good old rates at the old GoFundMe page. It's just ridiculous. So it's down to the filthy lucre. Money. Money makes the world go round. Yes, it's money. Money, money, money. It's no longer about morals, no longer about faith, no longer about Christianity. It's all about money. Because the law and everything else is run by money. So, there you have it. Now, this guy is always in the news. He's such a dick. So, okay, yes, well, actually this week the notorious Stony Homos, Pastor James David Manning, appeared on True News for a discussion about Barack Obama's satanic assault on America's morality. This man is really attacking my train of thoughts. It's like, you dick, you did not say that. You are supposed to be a pastor full of compassion. You are supposed to be like your icon, Mr. Martin Luther King. You are nothing like him. You're not even fit to lick his shoes. You're not even fit to call yourself a Christian because there is no God in your heart. So the thing is, not only did he spend time criticizing the wonderful Mr. President Obama. Listen, he's the best president we've had for a while. Nobody's perfect. He's human after all, but I still think he's good. You know, I'm not a full-fledged Democrat, and I'm certainly not a full-fledged Republican. I sort of vote for the person I want to, and I think who's going to do the best job. And unfortunately, there's not a Republican candidate for the next 50 years that's going to do a fucking good job because they're all complete morons. I mean, look at the clown car, please. I mean, how many contestants are now running for the good old presidency? It's about 20 now, is it? Something. And then, of course, we've got Mr. Trump. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know that Trump is actually a slang word for a fart in England. Need I say more? Anyway, so back to the anti-gay preacher. He's now saying the Supreme Court justices were blackmailed by their secret gay lovers. Damn, why didn't I think of that? Oh, God, I'd have been under those nasty little habits on my knees straight away. Give me marriage and equality right now. Oh, God, these idiots. Damn. And also, before we go into the next song, did your senator just vote to allow LGBT students to be bullied? In September 2010, the nation was stunned by what the media has called a rash of LGBTQ student suicides because of the results of bullying. So what they've been trying to do now is get some legislation to stop all this cyberbullying, stop all sorts of bullying. Children are notoriously cruel because they don't understand any better. Parents are the one that really should be monitoring, and also the teachers should be monitoring because this is why they're paid. They're paid to educate. And bullying and allowing bullying is not educating. So there's got to be something done somewhere because everybody is now everybody's passing the blame onto somebody else. Children are not the children are not capable of processing bullying thoughts at the moment because they listen to their parents, their peers, and their teachers. And if they hear somebody decrying something, saying something's bad, they're going to act on it and then multiply it. So apparently 45 Republicans, and only Republicans, have all voted to let LGBTQ kids to continue to be bullied and discriminated against in our nation's schools. 6 Republican senators did cross the aisle to vote for Senator Franklin's legislation as an amendment attached to a bill to updating the No Child Left Behind, an appropriate gesture, in fact. But 8 more Republicans were needed to bring the vote to a 60 yes. So the Republicans really want to let your child be bullied and then possibly eventually commit suicide. If you want this to happen to your child, then please keep voting for those Republicans, because your child is going to be dead and you're still going to be voting for a fucking idiot. Simple as that. All right, a lot of fucks this week because I'm pissed off. These idiots. Really, I mean, what is wrong with these people, you know? So, let's see. Do you know what? I'm going to have a nice little song here. I do like my friend. I'm going to play a little song from Nikki Holland, and it's called Secret.
Watch me in the corners of your eyes. You're dancing here, that's why I came. I strip you naked in these pictures in my mind. My needs, my wants are hard to tame. Now I wanna run to you, pick you up between your thighs, just to hear you gasp and speak my name. Why do we run? Why do we hide? Why must I be your secret? You come back to hold on, you lock me inside, just to hear you breathing as your hips beneath me rise. Let's dance a way you've never seen. I want to creep in you, open the depth of you inside, surrounded by the musk of you and me. You saturate me with the pleasure in your cries, and I won't let go until you scream. Why do we run? Why do we hide? Why must I be your secret? You come back to hold on, you lock me inside. And when your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you can go where. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down. I promise to tell no one. Play along with all the lies. If you'll say that later we can meet, and I'll keep your secret from the public scornful eyes. If that's what it takes to get relief, just know that one day I'll lay it out to your surprise. They don't really care, it's what you perceive. Why do we run? Why do we hide? Why must I be your secret? You come back to hold on, you lock me inside. And when your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you know where. Keep it down, keep it down, keep it down. And when your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you know where. Keep it down, keep it down, keep the pleasure in your eyes. And when your eyes, your hands, your legs, your hair, until your fingernails, I'm in you, you know where. Keep it
good old Nikki Hollander. I'd like to get her back on the show as well. She's been traveling all over the country. And Secret, that's actually one of my favorite songs. Now, where should we go now? Well, now the Marriott has now been urged not to host a Christian attorney group that actually campaigns against gay rights. Well. I wonder if this is going to be another, where's that place where all the, oh, good God. Oh, I can't. Where they had Ted Cruz, one of the hotels, and there's one of the gay owners in New York, and everybody's pissed off about it. And you know what? I'm so getting over these idiots who just want to sort of say "fuck you" to everybody and then expect customers. Simple as that. Anyway, so the campaigning group All Out organization have accused the Marriott hotel chain of hosting a forthcoming training conference for a right-wing, Christian-based, anti-gay organization. The Alliance Defending Freedom for Faith for Justice describes itself as an alliance-building legal organization that advocates for the right of the people to freely live out their faith. Once again, the Christian victims are fucking you again. Well, I'm a Christian Nazi gay, apparently, and I need some lube because I'm getting royally screwed here. So it claims to be allied with 300 other organizations and 2,900 attorneys. And it's campaigned against same-sex marriage and other LGBTI rights issues, often supporting cases that have been taken away to the U.S. Supreme Courts. Oh, I want to say something. I actually want to play devil's advocate here because, I don't think a lot of these groups are actually anti-gay. They're actually being extremely smart. And they're doing to the companies what the companies are trying to do to us. The religious organizations, the anti-gay ones. They're trying to control and, put the fear of God in everybody and get everybody back into, line. Like, when Karl Marx says, religion is the opiate of the masses. It's just, I think the reason is, I don't think a lot of these lawyers are anti-gay. They're just saying, well, let me just actually take their money because they're going to lose anyway. But they've got a never-ending supply of the filthy green lucre. Money, 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 money. Oh, yeah, that word. Money. And they're dealing with the law. So therefore, it's I don't think a lot of these lawyers are really as anti-gay as I say. They're just saying because these religious nuts, their days are really numbered, and they're going to start losing the old revenue. Oh, wait a minute, it's called money, 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 and then they're going to have to sort of change their tune. And then the lawyers are then going to find another sort of idiot to take and siphon their money off. So I think that's personally what's happening, but what do I know? I'm a Nazi. Also, the Pentagon is planning to lift the ban on trans people in the U.S. military. Thank you once again. The Pentagon is readying plans to end the ban on trans people serving in the U.S. military. So gay, lesbian, bisexual have been permitted to openly serve in the U.S. military since 2013 when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed. However, the U.S. military did continue to ban transgender people. We're back to that old thing. If somebody wants to fight for our country and protect our freedom as we know it, for God's sake, let them do it. What is wrong with you? And the last part of this section, before we go into music, homophobic attitudes are more likely to be found in individuals who harbor unacknowledged attraction towards the same sex. And this is a series of psychology studies have found. So if you're really, really against same-sex couples, same-sex marriages, and people who actually love each other from the same sex, apparently you want to do it yourself. And you're quietly jacking off in a dark room, thinking about these people touching each other and fornicating with their same-sex partners. And you're loving it. But in public, you have to be a self-righteous, obnoxious Christian victim. I think we'll have some music. That just sort of about said it all, really, didn't it? I'm James D. And let's have some music from, Jeff Gut, a good friend of mine. And it's called Shadows and Light. Very appropriate, I think.
So long ago, when we were younger, we were just kids back then, running free, all heart and soul. You gave me a hunger only you could feed for me. Hope you remember, 'cause your smile made me feel like home. So come on down, wait for the sun to rise. It's not comfort, I'm wasting my time. And even now, wait for your reasons why. It's not the shadow that's taking my light. It's been a long road alone since we were younger. I missed you every single day. And when I found out that you were gone, had to deal with all the anger. It's something that's never gone away. Hope you remember, 'cause your smile made me feel like home. So come on down, wait for the sun to rise. It's not comfort, I'm wasting my time. And even now, wait for your reasons why. It's not the shadow that's taking my life. So there it is, you know the truth. As I wonder where you are, what you do. 'Cause in my heart and in the end, it's always you. I hope you remember, 'cause your smile made me feel like home. So come on down, wait for the sun to rise. It's not comfort, I'm wasting my time. And even now, wait for your reasons why. It's not the shadow that's taking my life. And even now, wait for your reasons why. It's not the shadow that's taking my life. It's not the shadow that's taking my life.
Yeah, the great old sound there of Jeff Gut and Shadows and Light. Well, that's it for this week, I'm afraid. So, we're going to be back next week with the same gay time, same gay place, and probably the same gay victims and the same gay Nazis. Oh, dear. Do you know, really, there are no Christian victims in America, especially when America is 80% Christian. So I don't think Christianity is going to be a victim, do you? There are a lot of people out there with true love in their hearts, with true God in their hearts. They don't need my permission because they love everybody. And I love everybody. Everybody. About the nose, face, now, teeth, wrong. But please, don't hide your hate behind a religion or a flag even. I'm not ashamed of flags being flown. I don't fear flags, and I don't fear religions. I actually fear the people who are using them as their instrument of hate. That is what I don't like. I'm James Dean. I hope to see you next week. Listen to Gay Detroit Radio once again. Bye now.
Gay